Blah 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 blah. Hey Mario, hello. What is this? Rust propaganda in my chat. Yeah, it's kind of pretty cute. Probably AI generated, but still. Hello, welcome. Okay. Yeah. So, what are we gonna do today? Gotta spread positivity with Rust. Oh yeah. Hell yeah. Because Rust is so positive. Yeah, so let me actually maybe compile it. Yeah. There you go. So the idea is sort of add some kind of, let me like, yeah. Can I just, yeah, okay. So actually, you know, maybe I need to, when I did speedruns, I used to wait like 5-10 minutes right after I started the stream, to get like more people join before I start. Maybe I need to do something like that as well. Hey Connor, hello, it's going well. Um, so let me turn something chill on. Excuse me. Yeah, I need to clear my throat and stuff like that. But yeah, so what I'm thinking about is that I want to make some sort of like input display that maybe if you click debug, you will get it. Right, like click debug, more logs. And maybe you start like logging debug stuff here. And also you get like a pop-out window, or maybe another sub window if pop-out, if like a separate Windows to hard would get wrecked. But TLDR is that where's the picker? You would get like a separate like window, and here you would have some how do you call this? Color picker, probably like this, and you would get some like a buffer maybe of like four buttons, or maybe we can do like 4, right? I can't draw like 4. 1, like 2, 3, and like 4. Right, something like this. And they would be like, they would probably have labels. And then, you like press a button and it would like appear here. And then it would like fade out after a brief period. Like a fade out or something. Right, like if you haven't pressed like the same button in a while, or maybe like you replace it with some other button, and it would be like a circular buffer. And then since I have like different rules here, right, we have like an override, for example, then maybe if one button overrides the other one, it would like highlight differently. It would like highlight green, the other one would like highlight red and stuff like that. So something that's like the idea. That's sort of like an idea. So yeah, something like this. Very sort of simple, like brain dead input display. Yeah. Let me put Krita on like workspace 6 so it's completely out of the way. And yeah, so for now, this is how we log input presses, key presses. It's like literally, you know, if libinput key state pressed, I just get the key name from libxkb, and then call log it. That logs it as a string. That's really all there is to it. Hey Lars, hello. Yeah. Pew pew pew. Oh my god, Emacs is especially slow today. Why would that be? Look at this, I'm scrolling it. Oh, look at this Emacs eating like 100% of CPU when I'm scrolling it. Ooh, crawling to a halt. It can take... Yeah, it takes more than fucking OBS. More than Firefox, look at this. Insane. Hey Raken, hello, welcome. Yeah. As I just said, we are writing input display. First, before we start, let me actually experiment if opening a new window is something reasonable to do, like, at all. So this is what we do, like create window. Hey, Dan the 2, hello. Welcome to the stream. Let me try, right? So for example, like window 2, for example, and hitboxer, like input display, and class, probably also hitboxer. Will that even work? Oh yeah, this is because it's like a locally scoped one. Yeah, so nothing really appears. I think it's because maybe it won't appear until I like initialize. You know, until I do something else with the window. So for example, what does this do? It doesn't do anything on Linux. Let's check it out. What else per window we call? So we do set render target. Then we call UI init. This is something of ours. No, I know, this is something from GetRec. Yeah, and then we go to Actually, wait, no. Window never gets closed. Right? Like draw one frame. So there's swap buffers, but it acts on a frame, so... Yeah, I don't think there should be anything like preventing a window from happening. And it's in JDL as well, so it's like here. Actually no, so let's go to the module. Sub windows, yeah, so let me show you. Oh, it created, holy shit, look at this, a second window. Huh? How about that? Okay, we're cooking. Anyway, so sub window, why would I close it? And now it didn't get created, huh? What? And now it did get, what the fuck? Anyway. Ew. Ugh. Yeah. Anyway, so the point being, sub window is the window that is embedded inside of the overall window, right? So here's sub window, like it has a title, the title bar. You can kind of drag it by default, but I disabled, so you can't drag and resize it. I just use it as like pop-up, as a pane, you know, where you can select stuff. Also, logs open up a sub window. So yeah, it's just like this. Yeah. In Win32 API, everything is literally a window. Even a widget is a window, technically. Like, it can be like a dialog, but dialog is also a window, right? But why sometimes a second window won't... Oh, you see, so it... And we don't even have any sort of... We don't even have any error. I wonder how's that. Huh. And it's interesting that it happens first, then it doesn't happen. Then it happens, then it doesn't happen. So it's like... Huh, no, now it like launched 2 times in a row, but sometimes it doesn't launch. Wait. Yeah. It's not really a modal. Okay, so if I can do this, so I don't know, let's just create it, not 800 by 600. Let's just do it like, I don't know, 600 by like 300. Window class. Maybe. So yeah, here's the second window, right? I assume I also need to... Let me actually do something like... yeah. Something like this. Shit. So we have second window, then success post window. I don't think we need to do this. Hey Phoenix, hello. Thread group, settings, blah blah. So yeah, simp, set render target. So how set render target actually works? What does it do with the window? Find, okay, it has window info like per window. Nice. Okay, so seems like I can just, you know, so I probably can just do this. And for some reason now it tries to draw the UI into the second window. Like what? Right? Like why? Is this an issue with my? If info backend is needed for this window. Huh. And then when I so for input get window resizes blah blah, if it window equals the window, then we do that. Huh. What if I don't do this? No, it still tries to render. You see it like that's weird. And Polish Soviet space, Soviet wave is crazy. Excuse me. Hey Emil, hello, yo. So why seem being confused when I do like set render target? I mean, set render target, surely it is not like... Surely it is not some sort of global. I might not understand how to call it. So let me check. So this is the one, check init, whatever it is. This is some macro, if I recall correctly. It just checks that like the storage for immediate vertices is ready and stuff like that. Then we do that. Coordinate system, sure. And then we do find or add window info, which is just an array of window infos. Then you call update window for this specific window, which does what? It calculates render dimensions. It puts them on a window and gets a pointer to the current window info. And then if window equals window, resize render target. So it should operate only on the same window info. And then it checks if it's some kind of a current window info. What sets current window info? Oh, this is where it happens. How is that? So does it mean that you can't render two windows in the same thread? Or you have to... Is it fair to say Jai is Odin++? No, I wouldn't say so. Not at all. They are like too different. All right, so what is current window info? immediate state so that immediate rendering is thread safe, and we add its state to the context. Yeah, so yeah, so, and also the only similar thing in the syntax is this notion that you first declare a variable name and then you specify its type, right? So that's probably the only syntactical similarity you have. Right? So this notion that you have a variable name, then you have a type slot, and then you have a declaration. I think that's like the only syntactical similarity. And as far as I know, like you can call me on that, but I think Sean Barrett came up with the syntax. I think so. And like John liked and adopted it. And then maybe Bill saw this syntax and thought, yeah, it makes sense. I don't know. Like, okay, as I said, feel free to call me on that if I'm being wrong. But that's, I think, that's it. That's literally it. Came from Pascal? Okay, maybe it is. Hey, Victor Def. Hey, Tool. Hello. And hey, Skarsh. Sean Barrett, yeah, but I think it was inspired by Rob Pike. Yeah, maybe it did. Maybe it was. But also, like, Jai doesn't shy of having its syntax context dependent. You know the difference between like context-free grammar and non-context-free grammar? Right? It's kind of it's kind of like when the same I won't be able to explain probably. So context-free grammar. God, I forgot to apply formal grammar whose non-terminal symbol regardless of. Bro, is this like in programming? Like, the only reason why I understand what it means is that because I know what it means in the context of programming. Or maybe this? Yeah, I don't know why Wikipedia turned into this like fucking intellectual masturbation on every technical article. It didn't used to be like that like 10 years ago. Oh, maybe in Stack Overflow. You know, as usual, very like, you know, useful topic on Stack Overflow is being closed because Stack Overflow is a toxic circle jerk of fat neckbeard losers. That's why the site has died. It died not because of AI, it died because of this. A context-free grammar is grammar which satisfies certain properties. In computer science, grammars, blah blah blah, language specifically, they describe formal languages. Bro. Any, like... blah 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 blah. Well... okay, let me give my layman understanding what I meant by so we don't do this math fucking bullshit. It basically means that when you parse a certain set of characters, they mean the same thing regardless of the context. Okay? That's why, for example, in Jai this opening and closing parens, it will mean different thing in different contexts, right? So if you do equals like 2, right? Like 2 here is just like 2 in parens. If you have opening and close parens here, this is a procedure declaration, right? Yeah. Yes, exactly. And especially with this set of characters, they are like super. Yes, exactly. In Jai, they are contextful. Yeah. So opening and close parens means different thing in Jai in different contexts. Unlike in Odin, Odin tries to be more like context free here. So in Odin you have like foo. If you want to proc, you have to have a proc keyword, and only then you do this. And then you never have this be like a proc definition anywhere else, right? It will always be either procedure call or like just a bunch of, you know, parens to distinguish priority from each other. This also means that when you just define a type, you can, you know, just do that. And in Jai, because this has like overloaded grammar for parens, sometimes when you want to just declare that something is a type, right? So when you want to disambiguate, sometimes you have to do this, like type, and then the compiler knows that this is, you know, that this is just a type for this particular procedure. But because if I do it like this, I think the compiler will barf. I'm not actually sure. Let me check. You see, this procedure is missing its body, right? So in this case, we need to disambiguate. We need to say it is a type, like, you know, relax, bro. Yeah, you see what I mean? It is not a forward declaration. It's just you want to alias a type, so that you can then use it to pass to a procedure. So, you know, like proc types are statically like type safe. Yeah, and so Jai doesn't shy to do this. Jai actually has multiple places in its grammar that are context dependent. Odin tries to avoid that. So even in the syntax of the language, the approaches are super different. This is actually why having like tree-sitter grammar for Jai is not super trivial, because since tree-sitter is a parser generator, it generally wants like a pair of tokens from you. And you like say, oh, this token means procedure, like this token means for loop, right? This is how you generally want to program tree-sitter, but in Jai, you have to actually like contextually parse it. So that's why having like a robust tree-sitter grammar for Jai is not something you can just poop out. And it's interesting that this is actually hard to formalize for a machine, but as a human you don't even register this. As a human, having token be contextual means it's just not a brainer for you, because our brain is evolved to put things into context, right? So probably you saw me program in Jai for many streams and you didn't even like register that something like that has like impacts. I mean, it's not, you know, either you're fully context free or you're fully context full, right? It's a kind of a scale, and they are just yeah. It is a scale, and they are on a different ends of the scale. How do you do like a pointer in Jai? Is it like so if you have a variable, if you want to take a pointer to a variable, you take it like this. This is a pointer to A. If then you want to reference this a pointer, right? you want to say PTR a dot star. So taking an address of a variable, star goes on the left, dereferencing it, star goes on the right after dot. Excuse me. Jai does have context, yeah. As far as I know, context in Jai and in Odin, they work very similarly. As far as I know, but I don't really know that well how context in Odin works. Like, this is usually this magic moment when Gingibil appears out of nowhere and like explains it to you. Because he used to have this, omnipotent reputation. But I guess not today. Maybe it's still late, Yeah, and Odin has this like carrot character, right? You hate it, why? Because you're Scandinavian and you have a cursed ass keyboard layout. So yeah, and I actually had like a brief exchange with Gingibil about it on Twitter, where he like very eloquently put why he doesn't like contextual grammars. Like, I can't really argue against his points because, it's like, yeah, it makes sense. It just, I personally don't really care. Because I'm not the one writing parsers. Yeah, I've heard that some, I think, Scandinavian keyboard layouts make typing this character really cursed. And you know what? Actually, I think John wanted to go with this for pointers. And some people from Norway, I think, or maybe from I don't know. Maybe it was somebody Norwegian, maybe somebody Danish who was like, no! So maybe there are multiple Scandinavian layouts. Some of them cursed, some of them no. Spanish, Latin American in your case, I see. But yeah, this is it. Right, so even in the syntax, after this, the similarity kind of starts breaking down. Also, Odin has, optional semicolons, Jai has mandatory semicolons. Also, Odin has like for loop syntax where you can explicitly say when something is included in the range, something is excluded in the range. Jai doesn't have this syntax, and there are other differences. I was talking about dereferencing pointer. Dereferencing pointer to a pointer, sorry. So if you have a pointer, right, then you need to dereference like a dot star dot. So this is how you dereference double pointer. Yeah, they both have context. Yeah. I'm pretty sure this is how you do it. Right, so if you have I know, like the that star, right? You can print it. Union, right? It is a union. It is in fact correct. But if you try to do this, double star, unable to parse expression, you see? So it's incorrect syntax, and if I put it like this, it will tell me that, attempt to use operator on expression that doesn't, of a type that doesn't take this operator. Yeah, because expression is window and not like pointer, so this is like the correct syntax. Actually, Jai, I think, still has deprecated the reference syntax where you can do this. I think John hasn't removed it yet. Yeah, so the reference used to be like this. It's like unary double, like double less, or this used to be the reference. It's still in the language, but it's kind of like a deprecated way to do the reference. Yeah. Have a good night, Emil. Thanks for stopping by. See you around. Yeah, that's why having this language in the beta is very like beneficial. Imagine if, you know, like not 1,000 people were using this language, but like 10,000 people. Just how bigger a friction would be. Because one of the biggest like complaints about Zig that people have is that it constantly keeps fucking breaking things. No, but right, you gotta understand like how John approaches it. He's very like anti wasting people's time. Right? So even if it is like has a big like fucking beta on it, it feels probably very bad to ship something unfinished. In my case, if we go to like Hitboxer repo, right, I explicitly state, you see this program in progress, there will be dragons, right? So I explicitly state that it's like alpha. I probably should put like alpha, maybe. But usually when I do releases, well, I don't really say alpha. Yeah, but I probably should. I put it at the very top. But I probably need to add a keyword alpha. Yeah, of course. Even so, the issue is that with open source software, people got used to ZeroVer, and people just use ZeroVer in production, and they think that, you know, if it's a ZeroVer, it's still stable. I mean, you have fucking Canonical pushing, you know, like Rust-based UUTils to prod with version like 0.2. And then the date like program breaks you an auto update feature, so you have to update manually, right? Or like update checks or something like that. So people just got complacent with trusting software that's not 1.0, and to the point where it's actually like a legit thing. I'm not just I didn't just figure it out. What? Bro. Why did you open fucking images? I'm gonna get banned for this. Yeah, this is it. Zero-based versioning. And it was like, oh, cutting-edge software versioning for minimalist, when in fact it just means I don't want to take any responsibilities. I hate my users. So ZeroVer is actually like for software that never reaches 1.0. Right? So this is the gist. Hey Pergy, hello. Yeah. There's this notable ZeroVer project, and React Native, it constantly breaks. You write your program in React Native, 6 months pass, nothing fucking works. You have to rewrite it like from scratch because everything fucking changed.
To jeszcze musi potrwać parę dni, zanim nam się uda to wszystko rozszyfrować.
Like NeoVim, a bunch of bitches, pussies, because they, in my opinion, they should have set 1.0 after they got like first-class Lua support for all like Vim script. Like as soon as they were able to have pure Lua config, they should have set 1.0, in my opinion. It was like few years back, maybe like 3 or 4 years back. They should have done 1.0. Like Hugo, why? You know what Hugo is? Is a static site generator. It's a block generator. Why would you have zero Verdes? Why? You generate a few like HTML files. Like with like Golang templates. Why would you drag it? I mean, it actually breaks a lot, right? I used to have like a blog on Hugo. I like kind of abandoned it for a couple years. I came back, tried to rebuild my blog with new Hugo version. It didn't work. And there's a lot of those. I mean, putting Zig here on Zerover is not really... I think it's not very fair, because Zig never advertised itself as... I think Zig doesn't advertise itself as like production ready and stuff like this. Or like stable or anything like that. So it is... So Zig is Zerover, not because it is like philosophically Zerover, it's just because it's not done yet. Like, they are not committed to it, you know what I mean? But you can do it for many years as a programming language, because programming languages are hard. But you can do it as a fucking block generator. MPV, I also don't know why. So you can kind of look at it, right? This is just like fucking Hall of Shame, minus, you know, some projects that are literally like in beta. So yeah, and I hate this approach. I don't like it. With that said, what are we gonna do about multiple windows then? You know what we can do? So we can technically, let me show you. So we can't create set render target one after the other. What we apparently need to do is, we need to set render target for one window. We need to fully render it, right? Maybe after that, after we rendered everything, we could like set another render target and then render that window out. Kinda like this. Right? And then at the start of the loop, we would set the first render target again. Like here. Something like this. And then, yeah, of course, this will lead to sort of... This will lead to crashes. Because we switched active, like input, active, how do you call it? Actually, maybe this is because of... Maybe it's because of the fonts too. Right, so maybe it's because of this. No, so yeah. You see what I mean, right? Simp is not built for that. It really doesn't like us have multiple windows per one thread. And you know, it actually makes sense, because it's built... Like, it's built with OpenGL support, and OpenGL... For OpenGL, 2 windows on one thread is like, no. It's like a no-no. OpenGL really doesn't like that. So it really means that if we want to have like a sub-windows, no, not sub-windows, because sub-windows is a terminology used in GetReact. If we want a multiple windows in Simp, with OpenGL, or I mean in Simp in general, we need to create them on separate threads. I really don't want to do that though. Like, it is a complication that I don't want to go through right now. So for now, what I think I'm gonna do is I'll probably just create another sub window like I have with my logs, and I'll probably render my input display there. And then if we conclude that our window display looks fancy and cool, we might create another thread and then have it have another like input, how do you call it? How is this called in English? Please, my brain's event loop. Yes, we have separate event loop, separate thread, separate render target, and everything is happy, you know, like rainbows, pooping unicorns, stuff like this. Yeah, so let me eat that for now. And we are back. So how do we do it? Probably like debug. If you click debug, because I don't want to really add another like button here, like toggle input display. Maybe I can even log it right here. Just draw it here. Like draw it here, and then like have, I don't know, like logs below, some shit like that. What do we think? Where do we put it in the UI without changing too much? Where can I learn about how imports work? In which order to parse and shit? Instead of all the include text replacement thing. You mean in Jai or like in general? What do you mean, imports? If you mean in Jai, then there is like a how to, yeah, then Jai has how to on imports and loads. Basically, that's the gist. When you import a module, that code gets its own module scope, which cannot see your program's global scope. So modules are isolated from your program. When your program imports module, the program can see stuff in the module, but the module can't see stuff in your program. Yes. And also, module gets its own namespace. So you can do stuff like basic import basic, and then everything that gets imported from basic will get its namespace. You don't have to do it, but that's the thing. And load, Giles has load. Load is more like include. Yeah. So this is like namespace. That's basically it, I think. Yeah. And yeah, you can create module from arbitrary directory, from arbitrary file, and you can even import module as in like arbitrary string. So it's just, there you go. Polish aliens are talking over me. Anyway, so let me do let me think about UI a bit. So I like this kind of log pop-up, and we have like logs. Maybe I should have like a separate one for input display. Maybe I can have this as a mode line. You know, as the text editors have like mode line with different sort of quote-unquote widgets, and you know, you can click on logs, right? And then you can click like on like input display, and it will be a separate thing. It means that you can't view logs and debug inputs at the same time. But I mean, you probably don't need to. Right? Also just realized that log window, it kind of, when you open it, it covers the button because maybe somebody wants to like click on it and then click on it again. So yeah, let me actually fix that. So subwindow log open, subwindow log. Where do we set its dimensions? There you go. Excuse me. So X and Y. Yeah, you see, so it gets like the start and Y is height and a half, so because this is Y goes down, that's why this is like the start, and it needs to go down but minus button height. So we have it like window height 0.2 and then minus button height. Is this in scope? Yeah, you see? There you go. So now when I click it, and I guess if the window is open, subwindow log, where is this open? If released equals not. There you go. And now I can like, I can toggle it, you see, easy clap. You see, UI programming is so easy. Can you imagine doing this with React? Doing this with React is actually very fucking hard because like stuff that floats on top of other UI in React is not super trivial. You need to have like a provider and a context, and then like it's like a portal. Ugh. Somebody says like, just to render it with absolute. No, this will make you not pass the job interview and you will get fired. It's actually way better. So actually, let's do this. So log situation is crazy. We can do this, and we can have log width, which is window width times like 2, right? We can do that. So there you go. Now error logs only has like half of it. Context provider, factory provider, context. You know what you also have? Abstract singleton proxy factory bin. There you have it. Spring.io. It's real, it's not just a meme. Abstract singleton proxy factory bin. Public abstract class. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What does it even mean? Man, come on. Wake up. Of course, it means that it's abstract. It is a singleton. It is also a proxy. It's factory and it is a bean. It is a very convenient superclass for factory bean types that produce singleton scope proxy objects. Come on, wake up. Yeah, duh. Thank you, Henry. Yeah, it's you know you know it's like, man, like, come on. Uh, there there was even roses are red, some threads are, or there's like rubies are red, some threads are green, but there's only one. There's one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There you go. That's the one. Yes. Yeah, 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 man. Rubies are red, some threads are green, but only Java has abstract singleton proxy factory bean. So yeah. Right. uh, so we have input display, right? Let me just straight up copy this shit. Input button theme. Not error color, so X is gonna be this. Y is gonna be the same. Width is gonna be the same, and height is gonna be the same. And it will have not log XY input window or like input display XY. Wait, actually, right. Log X or log something like this. How do you do it like that? And there's like a capture group. Is it like this? Yeah, like that. And then you replace it with input display, and then you do this, right? And then boom. Look at this regex magic. Blah 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 blah, and there is like inputs. Let me just. Oh, one of them is missed. Where? Oh, because I did non-greedy. Fuck. Because they should have been on. Because the regex should have been greedy. Anything else I forgot? Input display with height. What? Oh yeah, right. And input display button theme. This is because. Yep. There you go. Now it will just open logs. Same thing. I need to change this. So this will be the same sort of button, but it will have like a little like red ribbon when there are errors, I think. Yeah, this UI looks like super fucking ugly. I'm probably remove this as well, right? So yeah, something like this probably. So now it looks ugly because there's a clear separation here, right? So this is kind of the application divided like this, but then this part divided in half, and now it looks like bleh. You see what I mean? And in order for the model line looks kind of sane, it will need to be like solid, just like solid principles of Java programming. And then it needs to have like a segment. So in reality, these buttons, they don't need to have, they shouldn't have like a right border or something like that. So that would be sort of a cleaner way of doing that. Cleaner in terms of UI. But for now, let's just do this. The UI will get redesigned at some point. I'm doing some UI stuff right now for a 3D level editor, but not sure how to handle directing input to only the part of the UI that needs it. I mean, there are multiple ways to do it, right? So I assume you're speaking for situations when the input widget that you want to pass the input to is not necessarily hot. You know, it's not necessarily under focus, right? Because when you want to send an input to something that's focused, it's kind of trivial, right? Because you know what's focused. You can probably just, you know, if focused, accept input, else no. I guess you want to do something different, more like a global hotkeys or something. um, any more music, please? Please. The fuck? Where's my epic gaming playlist? Where is it? Playlists? Epic gaming playlist. Can I shuffle it? Shuffle this motherfucker. Ooh yeah. Yeah, only when like a text input. I'm using Raylib, so I need to block other areas from accessing input while something else is in focus. Kind of arbitrary. I see. Well, so you need to have some sort of notion of input being hot or input being focused, I guess. And then probably when you like type something, you might have like a concept of input stealing. Right, maybe you like sort your inputs in a priority of like hovered and hot, and then the hot input is the one that gets the input first, and it can probably like decide whether it wants to steal the input or not. The other thing you can do is what browsers do. You know what browsers do? The browsers have like a concept of babbling inputs. When a like an input that is hot gets it first, and then it kind of bubbles it up. And there's also a capturing context. So when the input, when you press a button, kind of your very, very top component or like widget gets it, like a window. And then other elements can like register themselves for the inputs, and then for like a capturing phase. This is how it works in browser. And then you can sort of decide whether input goes down or not. I think it's kind of an overkill, and it's the way browsers do it, I think it's kind of convoluted, and they do it because, you know, the whole flow kind of designed around document object tree. And it's also like, you know, callbacks. It's very callbacks based. But in your case, you can you can like sort inputs by priority, and then do the stealing. It's probably the easiest way. And you know, as you handle that, you can probably come up with better ideas, depending on how your code is structured. But I don't know. Have you actually like watched some ImGUI material? I know Ryan Fleury has a bunch of articles about immediate mode UI on his Substack, the how it calls, like something growth, like hidden growth. And there was also immediate mode UI Casey Muratori. There was a collection from 2005. Oh yeah. So look at young Casey. Wait, let me show it to you. There you have it. Look at this. This is Casey from 2005.
Make us the hot item because we are hot. How do you actually do
And this is without computer, just like a fucking Blackboard lecture.
something else? Your users get a little confused.
So yeah, amazing video, by the way. I don't know if you watched it or not, but this is basically the original G of immediate mode UI. And I mean, nothing really changed, let's be honest. Oh yeah, let me drop it to YouTube as well then. Yeah, hey Mythic. So yeah, it's there you go. I know, it's it's different YouTube account. So yeah. The way I was thinking about it was using tags to kind of lock the input. I have not watched much of me. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably not super like, it's not super hard. It's like it is very approachable. That's why it's so attractive. This is what a decade of professional C++ game dev does to you. I mean, come on, it was 20 years ago, right? So he must have been in his 20s back then, right? Like late 20s or something. Back then, I haven't even gotten my government ID yet, right? I was 13 years old back then. I didn't even have a home computer. So 2005, like the late, I think spring of 2005 is when we got our first home computer. So I was 13 years old. He went to a store to buy all that big paper to make the video. I don't know, you know, maybe he was working, I think he was working in RAD at this time already. Maybe at like JC or something, and maybe they just had those in the office. You know, you never know. Actually, it's actually a good question to ask him. We need to like track on which podcast Casey will appear next, and this is a very important question. Did he go to the store to buy that like album of big paper, or did he just have it available? I think he and me, the same age roughly. I look a bit younger. So are you like in your late 40s or something like that? I'll do. Yeah, sadly. But why sadly? I mean, this must be a pretty like, like ripe age, like beekeeper's age, you know what I mean? uh, Sub window inputs. We'll see, okay. Boom. I'll see, we'll see. I am approaching my mid-30s. The only thing I've noticed in my mid-30s is that I can't... mainly I'm noticing it in my body. So first, I can't not sleep anymore. I used to be able to just survive, like on 2, 3, like 4 hours of sleep, like easily in my early 20s. Now, if I have a night with 4 hours of sleep, oh man, the end of the next day is brutal. Like, it's super brutal, especially, since I have kids. Like, oh my god, I just want the day to be over. And also my productivity plummets like crazy. So yeah, unfortunately, approaching my mid-30s, I can't pull an all-nighter anymore. I haven't been able to pull an all-nighter in a long time. Maybe I just haven't like really worked on something. But yeah, all-nighters like are over. No all-nighters for me. Another thing that I've noticed is that actually me being overweight, right? Because I was always like a fat ass, and I haven't really noticed it until I got like past 30. When I was like 31, I started noticing issues like with my weight. They're like very subtle, but for example, I was weighing like 130 kilograms, and I used to be able to just go up like 5 stores, no problem. I didn't have like a heavy breathing or anything like that. But now I feel it. I actually don't feel it in my breath, but I feel it in my legs. Like, kind of my legs got sore faster and stuff like this. So I started like working on my weight after 30. What else? To explore Lisp likes for no reason. Yeah. You start getting interested in boomer tech. So yeah, that's two main differences I've noticed. Yeah, I need sleep, and I need to get in shape. I guess that's really it. What else? Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah, I haven't noticed any muscle mass lost yet. So yeah, it probably happens later, maybe like closer to 40, but yes, for now I don't really notice it. Sub window inputs. I don't like input display, let's call it inputs. Yeah. And sub window inputs is not declared, so sub window inputs, there you have it. Open, sub window log open, what's that? Slogger checks for sub window open, and for consistency we set others also there. Yeah, let's do it. Starts happening at 40, I see. Pee twice a night. Oh, actually, I don't have it. Don't have that yet. My prostate is probably in a very good shape because unless I drink really a lot, I can go for like 10 hours without, 10, 12 hours without needing to go to the bathroom. It starts going down in your 30s and it gets easier to lose some more your age. I see. Well, I mean, in this case, we all know that we have a good technologist. You just go and take some steroids, hit the gym, and you're fine, right? Like, we're living in 2025. It's years. We live in the age of magic. As I said today, a fucking matrix, is able to parse natural languages so well that even though you know it's not alive, it really feels alive. My peak fitness year was actually when turning 40. Growth signing ICAC. Well, soon, hopefully my treadmill arrives very soon. I ordered one of those treadmills, you have together with your standing desk. It's actually because he didn't have money to buy a Ferrari and a bunch of hookers. So I had to fall back to road cycling. Back to programmer's body index. I see. So you can't afford to stop. Actually, let me reconsider. Man, LLMs are crazy. I can rant about it. What else? Rect. Rect needs to resize together with the window. Actually, same. Same with inputs. Sub window. I think it's exactly the same. Sub window inputs rect. And I just realized something. Inputs. Right, and same thing here. So they should kind of cancel each other out. And then, yeah, I need to implement this one. Draw a log window, yeah. Ooh, so big. Draw inputs window. And I think it accepts like state, which is sub window state. I think that's it. 3 arguments. Which 3? Base, rect, and data. Two. Brother. There you have it. Huh? Anything else? Wait, why didn't it work? I think that's it. Subwindow log draw. Oh fuck, yeah, of course this. A bunch of boilerplate, right? Subwindow state equals... Oh wait, no! There you go. And they kind of like cancel each other out. Interesting that this one has scroll bar, but this one doesn't. It actually doesn't have scroll bar because it doesn't have scrollable area. That makes sense. Yeah. Nice. Keep trying LM, I always get disappointed. Someone recommended me to try agents to write tests. It wouldn't even set up one properly. I tried to nudge it to do it, but never got it. The way I usually use them, well, so don't trust people who have like LLMs writing 90% of their code for them. It means either they write in very like boilerplatey and like useless code, or they're like straight up lying. I'm using agentic code gen on quite like complex code base, and I have to handhold it. It's still net positive, right? It lets me explore stuff I wouldn't I wouldn't otherwise like even bother to explore, but the code that it generates, more often than not, like way more often than not, it contains like subtle bugs, like subtle data races. So I need to review it thoroughly. And it also, it has a situation when it starts like going circles, oh, you're absolutely right. Oh, wait, but wait, this stuff, when it starts like breaking down. And since it's like agentic, it would run like a type checker because you let it. It would fail and it just starts going circles, and you need to abort it and just throw the session away. And people have all sorts of hacks on top of it, they would like, oh, I go to like GPT-5 Nano and I generate a spec, and I feed the spec to Claude and Claude will implement it. This is all fucking bullshit. This is all like cargo code, just poking at shit, hoping that it somehow works. Or maybe it has like very marginal return on success. Yeah, so let me drop. Yeah, Connor, that's one way to put it. Yeah, it is net positive. It is net positive because sometimes you can, like for example, I go into part of the code base that I'm not familiar with, and I can, like, oh, summarize me this module. And it would like summarize you kind of, not maybe a call graph, but oh, this module does this calls that, and blah, blah, blah. And even if it, like lied in 30%, you still know kind of where you want to start from. So it doesn't really help when you wrote entirety of the code, but it's just like Yeah, I never use it as an autocomplete, by the way. I don't use it as autocomplete. I use it to explore APIs possibility. You know, it's kind of just TLDR. I just use it as a better Google. That's, I guess, the TLDR. Hey Alman, hello. So I am pretty optimistic about the technology in general, but I really hate generative part of it. All this fucking slop, you know, I'm really sad about it. And it seems like a lot of people are just brain dead and they shine and consume. And look at this dog. Dog saved the kid. So I guess I'm more like disappointed in humanity than in the technology. And also, of course, I'm not really disappointed in companies who try to monetize slow part of AI. It's just, you know, oh, as expected, right? As expected, there is nothing open about OpenAI after all, right? Yeah, that's a nice way to put it, Connor, right? It's good at, like, telling you general information, but when you start narrowing it down, at some point it will break apart. For example, the other day, I tried to use it to debug data race in, you guess, React application, right? React application and data races, they kind of go together. I haven't seen, so I'm working with React code bases for a decade at this point. Fucking 10 years of React. I haven't seen a single React code base without data races. And there was a kind of like gnarly one, and I tried to use Claude to kind of narrow it down, and it was just throwing shit at the wall. Oh, maybe this, like maybe that, and I tried to like constrain it. Oh, we actually set this like guardrail, and we have like this synchronization point, and it like go in circles. But I just my brain just switched to Russian for a second. I don't know why. In the end, I just found it myself. Because I started like putting all of these guardrails we have in place, and then I like found the place. Oh, this shit is leaking. And if any one of you fucking says rubber duck debugging, I will nuke you by AP. Okay. Can React be fine and enjoyable? Now Twitch chat debugging I can get behind. Yeah. Do not dehumanize Twitch chat into a fucking rubber duck. Twitch chat debugging is an actual superpower. React was very cool and fun in like 2016, maybe 15. When it had like a wrapper around virtual DOM. And you had to manage a life cycle very explicitly. That was peak React. And then they started introducing like functional programming bullshit, where they would, you know, like, oh, we would introduce functional components, like components that you can return from functions, and we pretend that they are pure, but we actually introduce a global state on the side with this like function acting as a key into this global state, you know, and we introduce effects, and then this is where everything broke down. This should have never happened, but it did, and now we have Yeah, what do we have? Like I think React, the way it appeared first was actually good. It had a lot of sense, and it genuinely made like UI programming in browser way better. Hey Doramia, if we discover how to clone people, it should be yes. I mean, imagine you like you have like 10 Martinses, and you grab like 2 of them and assign a project to each to like a pair of them. Just think about it. Martins as a service. Now that's what I call AGI. All that to change the color of a button. Yeah. Mass. Well, I didn't say Martins as a service, but I joked that Handmade Network has access to AGI, and like his name is Martins. So what I need so what I need is I need something I need something similar to my Arrow. So Arrow is like a homemade like get-tracked/sim component that I have, and you can pass a rectangle to it and like mapping mode, and based on mapping mode it will draw you different arrows. So here I can add mapping, right? Default arrow is like a remap, and so you can like map slot to control. Then you also have like an opposite, which is 2-sided arrow. Then you have like a white space to we have like no repress. So the same, they also override each other, but then it doesn't do repress, if you know what it means. And then we also have neutral. Neutral means they cancel each other out, right? What did I do? I suddenly can't listen to... this must be a bug, right? So, oh yeah, this must be a bug because... Oh, draw one frame? Interesting. Yeah, so... I've like replaced a bunch of this code and I haven't really debugged it since then because I like broke a lot of stuff for... what is this? I broke a bunch of stuff while working on the Linux version. Anyway, point being is that you can... Interesting. So after I add the fourth one, it just kind of breaks down. I see. Oh no, it's actually just straight up broken. Huh. What did I do? But this is not the point. I will fix that, whatever. The point being is that we have different arrows that I've kind of implemented on top of simps, like drawing quads and triangles. So these are not textures, not like PNGs or anything. They are literally drawn from like vertices and the fragment shader primitives that Sim provides. And I'm thinking we can go somewhat sort of like same way. I wonder why suddenly it broke. Something broke with the state. Right, something like... And now it works again. Yeah. I wonder why. Oh, now it doesn't work anymore. So listening for new mapping setting source, but then I press... I know exactly what broke. When I set a target, I like don't reset it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's not the point of today. We will fix that. It's okay. The point being is that I want to draw similar things. And the way I do here when I draw arrows is by doing what? Colors. So yeah, immediate quad. That's the thing. It accepts coordinates. So x, y, then width and height. And then you can put a like and a color, and it has multiple overloads actually. So if we go here, yeah, so it accepts. You can just literally put 4 points as vectors. You can set x, y. Oh, it's not with height. It's literally, yeah, it's another. Actually, it is sort of width and height. Yeah, it is. It is like kind of. It is not really width and height. It is the x1 y1. Yeah. This is the one I'm using here. And one of those overloads in accepts a normal. Interesting. Then we have. What's that? Which one is this? Oh. Different colors for each vertex, so you can have like rainbows and 3D points plus color and optional UV coordinates in normal. So yeah, as you can see, it has a bunch of different overloads for drawing quads. 3D quad for that special someone who already has everything. Tangent and normal and ST and UV. Yeah, I think a bit loud, right? It's a bit loud. Yeah. Main. Let's go here. This is what we want. What I want to do is probably something like let me like F like this. Can I? Man. Whatever, yeah. So what I want to do is something like I have a quad on the outside and then like a quad on the inside. You know, as if it's like a button, and then inside there would be like a label like A. Something like this. So let's start with just like immediate quad. And we're gonna call it like our like key. It has like a rectangle and like text, which is string. And I guess that's it. And it should return something, probably. What does this thing return? It doesn't actually return, it just literally draws this shit at coordinates. Ahmed, hello? And maybe we would want, later we would want some sort of like a fade in, like a fade out timer. Right, so this thing can have, we'll have like a state maybe, and then if it fades, right? So maybe like color will have like increased and increased opacity over time. You know what I mean? But for now, what colors do we have here? Here I'm just like straight up hard coding the colors. Oh, actually we can accept theme, like a button theme, probably. Let's do this. Like a button theme. And then, like edge color equals to theme, and button themes have a bunch of colors. Is it surface? I think frame color. Yeah, let's like do frame color. And then this will be a frame color. And then we would have, yeah, literally like coordinates for the button. And we need like a thickness. Oh, so this is like an outside. Then I need to draw one that's like inside. So it's a from frame color, and then we need like a surface color. And this will have a surface color. And this needs like X and Y, but they should be like slightly adjusted. Slightly adjusted, maybe by how much? Let's say by like 5 pixels, right? So plus 5. And then this is like minus 5. Minus 5, something like this. Let's see how this looks like. Oh, fucking yeah. Bam, 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 bam. Draw input log. So we have base rect. Base rect is our overall rectangle. So let's say we want to draw one button that's like in the fucking middle. So we have p rect equals rect dot, and let's do like base r. All right, so base r, and then what we do, like key rect x equals to what? Base r, so x. So it's base r that w divided by half. Y is gonna be, so this sets x dead in the center, right? Y needs to be also like in the center but slightly up. So Y should be like h half minus, I know, button theme. Where do we get? Do we have like a global button theme? I'm pretty sure we have. Yeah, it has my theme button theme. Yeah. Yeah, button theme, and then this will be like key theme that. Actually, I don't think we have height on the theme, do we not? Surface color, thickness. variable thickness, frame, press, down, over, highlight, lighten, alpha scale, texture scale, properties. So we don't really have it here. So I guess button height is something I set myself somewhere. The fuck is this? Oh no, we actually look at this default button height. No, let's go. You know what? So yeah, we just set it globally here, and then we just literally use it everywhere. Yeah. So let's do this and then minus. Right. And I guess we do have like a default button width. I guess button will be like a, you know, square. Like this. So minus this is XY and then P rect W equals and H and then we do our key. We pass key rect. We pass, I don't know, like string that we ignore for now, and we pass key thing. The fuck is this? Alright, we don't return anything. Now press input display and I fucked up. Sir? Maybe I use some different like color that is. There was like a red one. Oh. So your frame color plus 0.4. So I guess we debug this motherfucker. Let's debug it. Draw input window. Let's do it like this. Let's launch. Input display. Bam. A key theme. Button height width. So they are like 50. Yeah. Key rect. So X. Let me just define anything. So what do we have? Key rect. 400, 130, 50, 50. And base W is base R. Width is 900. Height is what? it should be plus. Because Y goes down. Fuck. I don't even need to debug it, I realize. It needs to be plus height. I'm pretty sure that's the issue. No? No, apparently I'm stupid. Shite. So the base H times 2. So H height is like this number, like this number. So I assume right, so it's Y and then height. Height is like this number. Oh, we maybe need not height but like Y. Something like this, no? Okay, yeah, let's debug it. Let's debug further. That was a bad calculation. Because I'm really good at math, so you gotta bear with me. Right, so base R. H is 3 to 6. I need to use Y. I need to use Y coordinate, not X. I need to use Y either plus button height or plus like half the H. So this needs to be Y. Because now this, you see, has Y 260, so 262, so it's like it is trying to draw above the window, so that's why we don't see it. So it needs to be Y. It actually not times 2, it's like this. It's full Y, and then we have it, yeah. See? There you go. This is our key. So the key needs to be slightly more raised up. So first, 5 pixels is a lot. So 5, it probably should be like 0.5. 0.5. Maybe it should be default frame thickness. And then we need to kind of repeat it again. Like this, but this time it's gonna be like plus 1.0, 0.0, and then this is like minus 1.0, minus 1.0, and this 1.5, right? And so now if we refresh, what do we see? I fucked it up. Why did I fuck it up? So this is like kind of, this goes like inner. This should go even more inner. And this should go even more inner. That was the idea. Maybe 0.5 is too... Maybe 0.5 is too little. Let me go button theme again. Because here we have like frame thickness. Oh wait, this is the color. Oh, this is like... I probably need like to see rectangle shape or something. Where do we have this rectangle shape? In themes, roundness, frame thickness type, frame thickness 0.02. Rec.h. Huh. So it's actually very small. What the fuck is this unit? It's not in pixels or anything. So is it like 0.05? So let me take it. Oh, I accidentally closed it all. My bad. Draw inputs window. Yeah. UI. And we're looking at our key. Let me take it like this. And see how this looks. So this doesn't have fucking anything, just a little circle. So if we have it like as 0.5, what do we have then? Huh? Oh, I broke it. I broke it. Yeah. I broke it because I started it too soon. I started it before like stuff. I probably deinitialized. Oh no, and now Emacs is dying, right? Oh god, because Emacs is trying to cope with inputs. Well, oh no, no. I grabbed my inputs. Shit, I need to do it before, fuck. I locked myself. And I don't... Wait, can I know what we can do. Wait. Stop compilation. Yeah, oof. Let me launch SSH just in case. I almost locked myself out of using my computer. System CTL start. What the fuck is SSH? System CTL status SSH. SSH not found. Was it like open SSH? Oh, it's SSHD. Is it SSHD? Yeah, it's SSHD. Sudo systemctl in start SSHD. There you go, and then I should be able to connect to SSH. There you go. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm in, and if I hack myself again, I will be able to survive. Right. So when we do this, you see what happens. We have a left frame that is very like fat. Oh, because it's 0.5. So you see 0.5 on X and Y doesn't really work for some reason, but why is that? X plus 0.5. Why it doesn't work? Let me think. And why it works here? Oh, it works. So if I have 1 here, it will work. Yeah, now it works, but why? So 1 means 1 pixel. And why 0.5 works here? So it works, but why? The fuck? So, I mean, I assume this adds like 1 pixel to the coordinates. That's why it works. But then width and height, so this is width and height of the original one. And I only add 0.5. Could it be rounding? Oh, could it be rounding stuff? It must be rounding, is it? If I do -1, will it be the same number? It is rounding. Yes, it is like a floor or whatever it is. I'm so smart. Those are floats. You put vertex. And put vertex puts them, I guess, in some kind of matrix. Position X, Y, Z, blah blah blah. And it's like immediate vertex. That's what we have it. And vertices have floats under the hood. And you just pull it further. See, okay, my assumption, it is rounding. If you think I'm wrong, feel free to speak in the chat now or silence forever. Anyway, and now we want to offset like 1 pixel. Maybe not 1, maybe let's give it like 5 pixels. Like 5 pixels. And then we have this, yes. Let's actually make draw inputs. Let's make the window slightly bigger. So we have like default button height. Let's do like 100 by 100. Mismatched level of indirection. Yeah, there you go. So big button. I like big buttons and I cannot lie. Now the frames can be slightly thicker. And my key grows bigger. There you go. And here, let's do like 2 plus 25 is like 27. For now I'm just YOLOing the numbers, just like magical numbers. I closed Emacs again. It's okay. We can restart relatively quickly. So this is maybe slightly too much. Man, I really like how quick, just how fucking instant Jaya to recompile. So I don't need to implement any of those, you know, like hot reloading bullshit or I can just recompile and rerun as if I was writing like hot reloaded JavaScript server or something. It's like really amazing. You don't need all of this like incremental compilation, fucking hot reloading bullshit when you can just have fast compile time that just crunches through 200,000 lines of code per second. Hey Insertia, hello, welcome to the stream. Are you going through X input or is this via some dev input magic? Hey Graphic, hello to you as well. So both. My UI itself handles input, right? So the way it responds to inputs is through X input. And I gotta clarify, this is Linux. So X input on Linux means X11 extension for input handling, okay? So this particular UI gets its inputs through X11. But the way, yeah, well, I am honestly not getting them through X input extension, I am getting through core X11 events. So this particular window doesn't go through X input, but it would be no different, right? But the way I handle input system-wide, so for example, you can go to compilation button, and you can see it logs that DEF pressed, right? And I can keep pressing buttons, and you see, I am logging them even though this window is not focused, right? So I'm detecting them globally, and I can actually write them back to the system. And all of that I'm doing by reading dev inputs directly. So I'm grabbing the keyboards directly and reading their inputs, and then inserting those inputs back through virtual keyboard. So if you if I do ftest, you can see that I suddenly have Hitboxer keyboard. This keyboard is created by this program, and the OS gets input fed back through this virtual keyboard. And if I, for example, try to read inputs on one of my physical keyboard, right, like Keychron, if I press 4, it will say this device is grabbed by another process, by this process. You see? X11 has keyboard events without X input. Yes, yeah, it has. You don't have to go through X input. It's just regular, you know, like X, like wait for events, and then you can switch on enum whether the event type is a keyboard key. Getting events through X input is better because then you can handle, you know, like incremental smooth scrolling from touchpads. I mean, if you're asking about X input, then you probably know about it. But since smooth scrolling stuff is not really relevant for me for this particular application, then I don't do it. I just use core events. Yeah. Or to put it in other ways, with X input, you can get scroll events as actual deltas instead of them being emulated through mouse button presses. Right? If you go to my platform layer, have my own custom platform layer here, and in X11 implementation, blah 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 blah. Wait for events. So update window events. Yeah, there you go. So we get like appending events with generic events, then we mask it through some like bullshit, and then yeah, so we get response type from the pending event. You like mask it against this magical constant, and then it has to be one of the XCB key press key release. There you go. Those are key events. I literally did not realize XCB event must key press. Oh right, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Because if you don't do that, then you get like a fucking raw presses that don't really directly match to like logical presses, right? Then you get like raw presses for numlock, and then you need to fucking map them yourself, right? Unless you where is it? Where's the fucking mask? There's like some shit you need to do where you like eat events because they are not really not events you're looking for. Again, I forgot a bit of how you do it, but yeah, the point being is that handle key event. Oh, and yeah, I gotta say that I'm also additionally processing them through libxkb common. So why I'm doing it, I could do it all in raw X11, right? You could, so libxkb common is the one that handles numpad key presses and all this bullshit, and also keyboard layout. So why I'm doing it instead of going through X11, raw, which I could do by the way, is because in the future I will also support Wayland. And Wayland actually sort of hard requires libxkb common, so I figured I might as well use it in X11. Goes through all the raw key codes and then checks their key seam to figure out what they should display to the user. Yes, I actually did that as well, and oh, it's actually in Jai now because yeah, I contributed it as a patch. So was it? Let me check. I think I contributed. Yeah. So this is the shit that I put to Jai. So here's what we do. If you do it in raw X11 without using the libxkb common, this is some like Linux bullshit for everyone, right? You need to set correct locale. Usually do lc all. Where is it? No, this is cleanup. Never mind. So you need to set locale, because so locales is whole different topics on Linux. Like libc locales are the worst thing ever. And I wrote a documentation here, blah blah blah. Basically, default locale doesn't support Unicode, so you need to get system locale yourself, right? And the way you do it is, I think you set locale with empty string, right? And then what you do, you need to call whether X server supports locales, which it always really does these days. But then you need to check a couple virtual env to know which keyboard layout is active for the user. And this is like, you need to do like a crazy like error handling, because it can fail in many different ways. Then you forcibly set UTF-8 if you know you haven't found anything set, right? Otherwise, you set locale from whatever you got from the environment. After that, you can finally start handling Unicode. And the way you do it is, let me find the actual event handling. So the thing that Jai ships with, it uses libx11. Is it doing them here? I actually don't think it does them here. It's probably in the input module. Yeah, it's input x11. Get key code, position, send finish, send status, position, blah blah blah, drag and drop. Oh, there you go. Yeah, there you go. And so first you call this thing. insane. Those line endings. So first you call this shit, so it consumes all of the irrelevant keys, and then on key press, what it does is you do this shit. In libx11 you can call lookup string. And you pass like key sim, and it actually should just but it's not the full story, right? So you get like some so wait, status key sim, lookup count, and then it gives you the amount of bytes you need to look up. Then you like do some magic to convert it to U32 number, and then there was something else you needed to do. Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe you just do XWC lookup string and that's it, and you control, and you have Unicode support. But before that, you need to also configure input methods. Maybe it was in other X11 module. Yeah, input method. There you go. So at the end, also for it to work, you need to configure input method. Yeah, and after you did all of this, then you can handle Unicode without like parsing the row. Yeah, it's pain. So you can do this. But the way literally all modern Linux distribution do it, and Wayland, they just use libxkb common that does it in a display server independent way. Yeah. Let's kill a bunch of X11 related buffers. And so here I just do xkb handle event, and this is literally a procedure that is exported by, oh no, this is my wrapper around libxkb common. And the way it works is it just there you go, you like apply modifiers that accepts X11 display. It does like update mask, right? Just have a bunch of state. And after you're done, you can get modifiers that are pressed. And then you do if press, blah, 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 blah. Right, and so literally you get UTF-32 from keysim to UTF. It's just this easy. And libxkb command supposed to handle input methods for you. Then you check if it's printable, and then I just create my own events from it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Hey, Alex. Hello. Welcome. Hope your stream went well. So yeah, X11 is kind of pain, but there are things to make it bearable. Yo, more SDF? Nice. Nice. UI. So can we compile and run it again? Nice. Yeah, there you go. So I am like creating input display to show which like buttons are pressed. And this is too big. So first it could be not 27, maybe 15 is better, so 17. For now I'm just like hard coding all the numbers before I can sort of formalize it a little bit. So yeah, this is kind of probably better, like a little bit better. And then this is where we just print a number. And so I need to draw the last one of them, which will be plus 18. So just literally No, let's do 19, so plus 2 pixels again. Yeah, there you go. And so this looks kind of like a keyboard key, and then inside here we will have like a letter or something like that. So I can literally call like sim draw prepare text, like draw text. And I need to provide a font. I can use a global here. This is all right. I just need a dead center of this rectangle. Well, not really dead center, more like an offset of the corner like this. So plus maybe like 2, not 2, like 10. So something like this. We'll do X, Y. So what we do is we do R that X plus plus what? 19 plus 5. Let's look 24. And same here, like plus 24. And text. And the theme text color. Let's see how it looks. Wait, what? This is R. Oh, yeah, I kind of fucked it up. So X is correct, but Y is not really plus. Oh, because yeah, Y uses, it sets like a letter at the on top of Y. So we need this plus like glyph height or something. How do I get it? Oh, I get glyph height from dynamic font, right? So you have font, temporary glyphs, glyph data, and then I use like advanced here. And I kind of abuse the fact that the font I'm currently using is monospaced. So this is a little bit of a hack. Right. So I guess let's do this. Glyph, data, block font, temporary glyphs. You know what I can do? This is actually bullshit. Since I'm getting fonts at size, I can just have these. Maybe actually UI font has it. It's dynamic font. Glyph lookup, private character range. Oh, character height, let's go. Yeah. We can just use that. Yeah, so and we can just use this to do that. Technically, you probably need to have like an advance, but there you go. There's the thing. Hey Baker, hello, welcome. Yeah, 1 second. One second. Okay, we're good. This is a smaller font. Let's maybe use header font for this. Header font is a big boy font, if I recall correctly. Right? Yeah, that's the bigger one. There you go. And so the x that we need to use is not plus 24, it's more like like a middle of the so it's this thing. Divided by half, maybe? Oh, the fuck? Oh, minus this thing divided by half. So it's this thing minus like minus this thing divided by half. Yeah. Minus RW divided by half. I'm like, the worst thing I can do is this sort of, wait, what? Type wanted, type given. The worst thing I can do is do this sort of stupid math. Wait, what? Type mismatch, left type autocast. Oh, it doesn't know which to autocast to. So I need to wrap it in additional parentheses and then autocast. Yeah, okay, kinda like this. And so it uses a middle of the rectangle to start drawing, which means we also need to minus like typical advance, or what the fuck was that on the font? Right, so it was EM width, I guess? Like Y offset for my Latin characters. Y offset for centering. Maybe I can use that. Cool. So do I use like we also use do I also use this like minus that? Kinda, right? It's so it kinda, so it like EM with kinda half of this. Yeah, so it draw, so like it's like goes right in the center. You see, we are centering. Okay, yeah, now it's, doesn't look like it's in the center. I mean, maybe. So what we have here is we have this thing, so the width. So we have that minus the width times half. And then we also subtract EM times 2. Yeah, it looks like left has slightly more padding, right? Yeah. So what's the math here? EM width plus 1. But why? It left the lines odd. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. I don't know, like to me, it still seems that this has slightly more. It didn't change anything, yeah. With fonts is an appropriate question. What we can do is we can add -1 here. Right, and now it's kind of like dead centered. But you're actually right. We should probably call width first. Where is it? Where's the width? Am I blind? Am I blind? I didn't call width here because I used to call width here, but then I inserted this hack that just relies on it being monospaced. Yeah. Prepare font. Exactly. It's like prepare text. That's what I need. I think it's prepare text. Yeah, this one. Is there prepare font as well? No, there is not prepare. So prepare text, that's one. And it does mostly kind of the same thing, right? So text width equals simp prepare text, and we do header font. And text is text. So we get the width, and then we need height still. But now what we can do is minus width. Like this. Yeah. I actually knew that. Surprisingly, because I knew that. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of just does it better, right? Look at it. Instantly looks beautiful. So I actually knew all of that. You know why? Let me show you. Let me break something on purpose so I have because I have a text wrapping in my log view. Look at this. Yes, we are in the business of almost writing our own text editor, baby. So yeah, I've experimented with text with like a bunch. Yeah. All right, so we have our key input. Yeah. I split. First I calculate, so I have like the maximum width that I can in characters, because you know I can do it because I'm using monospace font. In characters that I can fit into a particular line, then I split it, and then I look like the closest white space to the right. When we don't fit, I just kind of chop the string by that point. And then I just do it in this particular loop, right? So 3 max line, so I slice the line, I calculate closest white space from the right, then I look by how much more characters I need to move, I kind of slice the line again, then I draw the line, and then I advanced the data encounter, so I advanced the data pointer and trim the count, so I can do it again in the same loop, right? And then at the end, after the loop is over, I just draw the remainder, if there's any. So I can probably do like if trim, I can probably put it like here, but I mean, realistically speaking, it shouldn't matter. Yeah, so that's what I do. I just literally get like the first glyph that I have, and I calculate max line count based on like glyph advance, which is glyph together with a little spacing around it. And if I didn't have monospace font, I would have to calculate the width of the line, right? Then kind of intelligently see. I would either have to add every like character width explicitly, or I would have to just see that width doesn't fit and then chop on by white space. So instead of, so this is convenient because I can normalize it back to the line count, to the character count, and technically I use bytes, right? So to do doesn't support Unicode, but it's not hard to support. It's just I didn't bother bringing them in the UTF-8 module, right? And so I wouldn't have the luxury of using line count. I would have to use width, actual like pixel width here. But now we have somewhat sort of, this like resembles a key. I kind of want to draw like rounded rectangle here, and I think Quad doesn't support it. But you know what supports it? Alright, so not pointer image, but I think it was in themes. And yet the rectangle shape. And so I think I can draw like rectangles based on their shape from GetRect. Can I do it? Bentonit. Bentonit, okay, never mind. Yeah, so this is like a bunch of themes. Does actually GetRect exposes drawing raw rectangles. Prepare text, text origin. Labor from prepared text, text origin. Also like a bunch of math. Default text baseline. I can actually, what I can probably do is, instead of writing like pure quad here, I can make it a label, like literally make it a label, and then just put a text here, and it would do all of this. Yeah, you see, it would do all of this for me. I haven't thought of that, but it was still very fun to kind of get all of this math, you know, myself. I just enjoyed it, even though I'm a bit too sleepy for that, honestly. Maybe it's in a button? Update, update, update my ass. Code draw button. So what does this do? Chord draw button. Button label, blurb, set shaders, properties. No, that's the immediate quad. What's those? Colors and thickness. Oh, rounded rectangle. There you fucking go. Hello, beautiful. Hello, my love. Actual roundness. I think we've found the thing. Holy shit. This is so hard. Like, it uses like thetas. You know, guys, I see theta and it's like, what is this? What is theta? Frame pixels. How much code do you need? You need like 200 lines of code to draw a rounded rectangle. You know how much code I need to draw a rounded rectangle in JavaScript? Probably like around 20 lines of code. JavaScript is better than Jai? Drama! But anyway. So rounded rectangle has a roundness type relative to height, relative to width, absolute from theme field, absolute from global. There's a little bit of a roundness. Let me quickly try it out. Simple, just make an arc function that rounded rectangle calls, and then rounded rectangle can be like 10 lines of code. Damn! By the way, did you know that one of the advantages of X11 server is that it has drawing primitives? So, you know, in order to, because X11 server is a client server protocol, which was actually used back in the day in, you know, like fat server thin clients. So in order to save traffic, X11 server added a bunch of drawing primitives. So you can draw text, you can draw arcs, like rectangles and stuff like that. So instead of sending a bunch of like math back and forth between the server and the client, you could just say, draw me arc here, and X11 server will put you an arc. For screenshotting, I mean, for screenshotting, you probably don't need all of this bullshit, like, you know, drawing widgets. I guess what you do is you would like get a frame buffer from the parent, like from the screen, right? And then you would probably access it through like JLX or some shit, right? So you don't need all of the drawing stuff. You just need to, you just need like that. But yeah. Motif window manager hints. Oh yeah, absolutely, yes. And JLX, yeah. Alpha channel, right. I wonder why do you do it though? Is it some like, you know, maybe automation, like testing that you run and maybe like headless like CI server or some shit? And you need to like screenshot state when something fails, maybe. I'm just, you know, I'm just imagining stuff, maybe projecting a little bit. Pinning tool where you can pin a portion of a screen. I see. Okay. That's actually pretty cool. So i3VM had this feature. I actually don't, Sway I think doesn't do it, where you can, well, it has like pinned window. So you could like pin a window here, and then when you switch like workspaces, the window would always, so it was called like sticky windows. But I can imagine how, you know, you could optimize this by literally like pinning this like damaged region and never like redraw it. You would maybe like redraw stuff around it, but never this. Yeah, flame shot. Actually, I'm really missing good screenshotting tools, because I have screenshot stuff for Wayland, and it kind of works, but it's pretty bad because it doesn't steal the focus from the window. Well, it actually steals the focus from underlying window, and it also like discards, you know, floating windows and drop downs. So for example, I never can like screenshot drop downs with it. And I know that Wayland has some sort of protocol specifically for that, and there was some tools that implement that. And I need to just go and research. Spectacle, thanks Leon, hello. Yeah, maybe, let me put it. I'm like literally gonna put it into my fish history. Because a few issues I had with Wayland, particularly around screenshots and screen capture. Yeah, there was issues back then. Now, so screen capture is pretty good these days on Wayland out of the box. Some compositors don't implement certain screen capture features. For example, Suede can't capture a single window, but other compositors can. And screenshots, yeah, screenshots were a disaster, but maybe Spectacle fixes that. So we'll see. Anyway, let's try rounded rectangle just for, you know, like fancies. Let me comment this out. And open button and rounded rectangle. So rounded rectangle, and we put R, and then so shape is rectangle shape. Then color is gonna be, let's do frame color. Oh, it has color, frame color, and thickness. So color, let's do surface color. And then frame color. And let's look how it looks. Let's check out how it looks. Hey, look at this. I actually like it. So seems like I can just ditch everything I did myself. Well, you know what else I can do? I can literally draw them as normal buttons. But make them non-pressable. Or I can do, I guess, rounded rectangle with a label, right? And it's like a label. Oh, label from prepared text. Core draw label does not scissor. Let's just do label. So we have R, the same R. Then text is gonna be text. Then theme is gonna be theme label theme. And I guess that's it, right? Bam, bam, bam. Look at this. You know what it did? It did. Ah, no, never mind. I almost said something stupid. I almost did something stupid. Theme and label, theme equals theme label. Actually, never mind. For purpose like menus, I usually 6 milliseconds, 2 4K. I mean, that's not bad actually, Baker. Tell Spectacle to wait. I mean, waiting is kind of dumb, you know. Because on X with Flame Shot, I could have just screenshotted whatever state. You select the screen area. Yeah. So it's like a workaround, you know. It's better than nothing. What to do with my tool is I have a screenshots be so quick that I can just continuously be taking them in the background. And then when you hit print screen, you can pick which one you want. Yeah, I see. That's like sounds like a pretty cool thing. It's, you know, you can probably you can probably do it with FFmpeg. You can probably like record a video that like shares that captures the entire sort of area, and then pick like few frames from that screenshot. Привет, J-Boogie. Привет. Добрый вечер. FFmpeg just solves everything. It's just like Blender, you know. I was like, hey guys, what do you use for editing your videos on Linux? Is it Kdenlive or something else? And Sodin be like, I'm using Blender. Like, what? And I tried using Blender for video editing, and it's actually pretty good. Blender has built-in video editor. You can like cut stuff, you can add like arrows, you can add text transitions, like keyframe animations, pretty much anything you want. Long-term string ordering. I see, yeah. Я лично не спидраню сейчас пока. Времени нет, к сожалению. Но там уже заоптимизировали где-то до 5 часов или что-то типа того. Рекорд около 5, там 5.10, 5.20, что-то такое на сотку. Там уже это борды на СРЦ открыли, можешь пойти посмотреть, там, наверное, что-то залито уже даже. J-Boogie was asking about Silksong speedruns. One day trademark. So label. So you have a theme here, and key, theme, label, theme. Where is label? Why is label theme not here? This is kind of unfortunate. In my humble opinions, themes should not be here. Font effects. It's alignment, text alignment. Wait, but if it's by default center. Oh, I think I put it on the left. Equals center. I think it's like this, right? Hey, there you go. This is our input display. And so we can even flash it like a real button. Is there a way to manipulate button state from the outside, you know, to make it look like it flashed? You know what I mean? So, so probably we need to call this or something like this. Yeah. So, no, it is core drop button. Wait. Yeah, there you go. State released false. So we need to get status. Where do you get status? Get status flag. Get status flags. Where does this come from? In module. Tooltips. So yeah, we get XY. Event occluded. Give widget. Yeah, so it kind of does that. And then it checks like events occluded, which probably checks on the input. So, So it does like status. We can set the state. So yeah, button kind of just sets the state. Oh, you see? You see what we can do? So we can set the state manually and then call this core drop button. Holy shit. And then actually button theme, it has rectangle shape on the theme itself. Holy fuck. So we can simplify. See you, Baker. So we can simplify this even further. Instead of doing like rounded rectangle, we can like Yeah, so I want like when you press a button, like flash it, and then I'm like fade it in, sort of like that, until it fades. Yeah, this is kind of like this is sort of like a debug tool of a sort, right? Because this is a keyboard override, and for now I just spam it to the console when you do stuff, right? Like white space, like this sort of thing. Yeah, and it works system-wide because it reads directly from dev input events, right? So I just wanted to kind of add a little bit more visual feedback to it. Yeah. I'm not really building it to be like super, how you say it, like super generic. I want it to be more like for my program, but I mean if it ends up being generically useful, then why not? But yeah, the point being, yeah, so I can probably just like set the pressed state, like when you press it from the outside. Excuse me. And then have like a little array where I would record timestamp myself. And then unless it's like pressed again, I will just probably I'll probably just compare times, and after I don't know, like 5 milliseconds, I will set it as unpressed, and then it will like flash back. But then for fading, you know, for fading I can just increase the alpha channel, like the transparency, the alpha. I can just increase it with DT, right? So in my main loop, I have this DT, and I can probably just make it maybe not global, but you know what I mean. Put it somewhere on like frame context or something like that. And then actually, do I pass it? Yeah, I actually pass it to draw on frames. And I think I can also pass it as user data to my draw window callback. And I can use this DT to increase opacity. So that's probably the plan. Yeah, I think that's gonna be the plan. I quite like it. I quite like it. Can I actually do this? How do I pass user data on sub window? Is it on sub window info? This is where we have user data? Track left-handed. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? What the fuck is it? Which there you go, on left-handed. User data, there you go. Right, so we have window inputs. Window inputs open. And then what you pass here is sub window inputs, user data equals to DT. There you go. And DT is float. And then when we press, where is it here? Data, we do like DT equals data, we guess just like, well, it should be a pointer to float really. Your data. The fuck? I kind of got lost a little bit. User data. I that's why I couldn't find it, because I made a typo. Kind of like this. So DT, let's just print it for now and see how it looks like. DT, that's the reference, motherfucker. Okay, so I open it in, you see DT kind of. So DT, yeah, DT is sort of kind of constant. So maybe I don't want to do DT necessarily. Yeah, that. What else do we can use? To just use current time and just current time and DT together. Does this use DT? Actually, do I even use DT? Oh yeah, drone. Wait. I don't even use DT anywhere. Where did I use it then? I did use it somewhere. Well, not anymore, I guess. DT is irrelevant. Yeah, well, I'll probably gonna use like a combination of current time and I don't know. Maybe I'll just let me show you the button state. It has like a bunch of duration effects. So this is just timers that kind of run off, and they run off when you update like state somewhere. Update over state. You see, so kind of move toward by DT. Where does it get DT, by the way? Oh, it accepts it as a float here. Oh, and DT gets put on a state. So I don't even need it. Alright, so Cosmetic DT is probably on active widget. So I don't need to maintain DT for flash timers. But then after the flash is gone, maybe when Cosmetic DT is like, or maybe when timers expired, I will use like my DT to increase to increase alpha channel. So yeah, I guess that's the plan. That's gonna be the plan for the next for the next stream, where I actually like pass my inputs there, so we get like our like fucked around with like prototypes with a bunch of quotes, and I guess we'll round on a button. It's just gonna be like disabled. I wonder if disabled button. Like, I wonder if disabled button will actually draw its timers like flash ones. Well, I guess we're gonna see next time. Hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow, though. Tomorrow is Thursday. I mean, yeah, so unless I'm like super tired after work, I'll probably stream tomorrow. So yeah, let's maybe find someone to raid. It's already 1:30 in the morning. Anyone streaming? Something interesting? Somebody is coding Fortnite in Minecraft. This is insane. What else do we have? Any like systems level shenanigans? I don't see anything interesting. FreeBSD, KDE, Plasma, XFC, GNOME, something, C++. He does some like Linux system administration, so It's always so hard to find people in this time. Nobody is streaming anything.
And then at the
Right,
end
somebody
of
is doing
Arsenal-
Fortnite in Minecraft. This sounds very fun. Let's rate. He does, I mean, obviously Java, but you motherfuckers, be nice, or I'll punish you. Okay, but yeah, thanks everyone for watching. If you're on YouTube, feel free to hop on the raid. Hop on for the raid to Twitch chat. And yeah, I'll see you on tomorrow. Yeah, bye everyone. Good night.